I say Misty and Ash got into it so much, but you could tell like she cared for him. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
she was just, they always getting into it. But her sisters made me sick so much. I cannot stand her sisters.
And they all those women have like the same voice, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's like three different voices and they were all played by the voice actor of Jessie,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I met her.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What does she look like in real life? Like hair color, like
And
she doesn't
she's
have red
not
hair, I'm
a
assuming.
redhead, but like dark brown.
Does she look like nice or does she look like
No, she's very nice. Yeah, not
I-
her personality.
I
Team
love,
Rocket.
I love Jesse. I love the show.
And speaking of, what the fuck was up with Team Rocket? Like, they were so epic, but they were like, for one, here's a breach in logic, but like, they were so concerned with catching Pikachu and being like the boss's favorites to be rich, right? Like, didn't they want to be rich and like have a lot
Yeah.
of fame and
Yeah.
stuff like that? But here they are making countless machines and like crazy contraptions, a fucking fireproof and electric proof like walking robot that can like shoot out nets and plastic bags to catch Pokemon. How are they not rich? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they should patent that
I
shit
could
and
be
like, be
wrong,
rich.
but I think that it was Giovanni who kind of sponsored them for a while,
Ah.
and that's why they were really mad, like when he kicked them out at some point.
What were you gonna say, Mrs.
Oh,
Kendo?
I was saying, speaking about back to Ash being lame.
Yeah.
Remember, like every time he encounters somebody, he's like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" And he gets out his Pokedex, and it's like something really normal, like Squirtle.
Yeah. What's that? It's like Voltorb, and it's going Valtorb, and he's like, "What's that?" Like, again, I think just to let the viewers know what it is. But
Well,
like,
yeah,
if he was a
but-
Pokemon master or going to be one, wouldn't he know?
Yeah.
You would think so. Ash is just the luckiest guy ever.
So, anything else that y'all want to call into question on Pokemon?
I don't
sure
know about
there's
calling
plenty.
into question, but the opening theme song was the best song ever.
Yes,
From the
it
beginning,
was.
I used to love that song so much.
Have you heard like the German and the Spanish versions and stuff?
No, I
Look
haven't.
it up. It's great.
YouTube it, yeah. And I remember, Team Rocket, this is very obvious, but like, remember when they would dress up? For one, obviously their disguises would be stupid and Ash would always fall for them, so that was kind of a given. But like, the other thing was that Jesse somehow always found the man clothing and James always found the
I was
woman
about to
clothing.
women.
Yeah. So it's always like, oh, well, James is now a female. Like he would always like put on a voice and stuff. And Jesse's like, oh, we just want to get the money. I mean, the inheritance. Like
I remember that episode that was from.
with the Growlithe.
Yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah, that episode was
that's when-
sweet.
The one with the Growlithe was the one when they called Officer Jenny. They had like this type of microphone like thing, right?
Oh, yeah, that was a different one.
Yeah.
No,
No,
another Growlithe one.
she's talking about the one with the vile plume and then the girlfriend of James, the fiance, right?
And it was Jezebel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always thought he was gay.
How is he not gay?
I remember that episode being like, he's gay.
Oh,
Leave him. He's
there's
gay.
another evidence of his gayness. I
He always
forget.
had that
like,
rose,
well, yeah, the rose, but like one time there was something about how they go. It was the pink Pokemon on the Orange Islands. Do you remember that? There was an island full of pink Pokemon. Did y'all see that?
I can't remember that one.
Cricket noise.
Okay, well, they ate a bunch of these fruits on this island. The Orange Islands was, the series after the first, the Indigo League and stuff. And they had this island that had these fruits that the Pokemon would eat, and it would turn them all pink. And so Meowth and Jessie are using some binoculars and spying on the island, and they're like, look at all these pink Pokemon. And then James goes, oh, is it more of a flashy kind of pink, or is it a dull, dried-out pastel pink? And I'm like, who says that unless they're gay? You know what I mean? Like,
wasn't he like wearing women's clothes or something one time? Am I just dreaming this?
well, yeah, we were just saying that he's always wearing the female clothes. Whenever they dress up, like,
Yeah.
whenever they have disguises, he's always like the woman, and Jesse's always dressed like a swordsman, like a fencer or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, any other words of Pokemon before we move on?
You gotta catch them all.
Yeah, you got it. But it's a great show. Gosh, I have been watching it again because of, my Pokemon playthroughs and stuff, and I've been having a blast catching all this weird stuff.
What was y'all like favorite Pokemon?
Well, you know me, but I'll let everybody else go first.
Does that mean me?
Whoever.
I don't know.
Yes, Steph. Do you know who your top
throughout
few?
the years, they kept changing.
Yeah.
But each time it was one of the evolutions. So my first ever favorite was Flareon.
Flareon,
And then Espeon was my next favorite. And now it's Glaceon.
New ones.
Mm-hmm.
Newer generation.
Mine, let's see. I think most people, if they at least watch Dr. Kendo's thing, they know that I like Butterfree, but I hate Metapod. Unfortunately, you have to go through Metapod to get to Butterfree, but I really, really like Butterfree. Butterfree's probably my favorite, and Pikachu's probably like my second favorite. I really like Pikachu, but Pikachu's not my favorite. Yeah. Pokemon Yellow was always my favorite one to play, and then Dr. Kendo, he will say things like Pokemon Yellow is not the best, or he's not that rude about it though, but just saying that he doesn't like it or whatever. And then I said one time that if they had a Pokemon Orange where Charizard followed you around, you would like it. But I also like Togepi and Jigglypuff, pretty much, I guess all the cute ones, But I love the way Togepi talks. Like, he does that Togepi.
Yeah.
And then he's like half egg and stuff. And this is off topic, but I always have wondered, why does Execute, which is a pile of eggs, turn into a coconut tree?
Nice.
Eggs do not turn into trees. Executor. I'm a palm tree with coconuts on my head,
I remember the episode when they like stampede through the town or something.
With that magician guy, he's like, "Hi, I'm the Great Melvin. And for my next trick," like he had that stupid voice.
Yeah. But my favorite is probably RK9, because I'm a dog lover. I love animals.
Mm-hmm.
And Hitmonlee.
Hitmonlee.
Yes, Hitmonlee. He was like my favorite. Like on Super Smash Brothers, the first one. Every time you throw the Pokeball, I was hoping I get Hitmonlee.
In some of the first Smash Brother copies, which this is the one that I own, he would say Primeape. He's like Primeape. But it was Hitmonlee. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that glitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of voices, one thing that I thought was interesting was a lot of the Pokemon say their name. We know that. Some of them are like Charizard, where it's like,
Yeah.
And like Onix, like, And what I thought was the most crazy one, though, that doesn't say his name was. It was Electabuzz. Electabuzz just goes.
Yeah, cause Electrokid said his name, right?
Who did?
Like the in the Electrokid or something.
The pre-evolution of it.
Yeah, he said his name, didn't he?
Well, I haven't seen any of the new ones with that one, so I wouldn't know.
And going back for what Mrs.Kendo said, did y'all see the episode of when they had like the evil Togepi?
No, I didn't see that.
I don't know.
Was that when they all went evil? Like all the different ones went evil?
I don't think so. I think it was like when cause he was like manipulating Jesse and James, Team Rocket. I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly. But I remember Togepi just went. It was like an evil Togepi, and he got you know how Togepi got these mysterious powers and everything. He got like this little cute little Pokemon. He's like evil. It was just a good episode.
That's hilarious.
I remember the other one where it was the other Team Rocket. What was the name? Butch or
Butch and Cassidy.
Yeah.
And Butch's
I think
name was like Butch was like Butch. He's just like I've been smoking my entire life.
Yeah.
Sorry. What were you gonna say, Tamari?
No, it's just I remember they turned all the Pokemon evil.
Yeah, with the drowsy.
Yeah.